Have you ever woke up and thought, just let me get through today? Looked at that person in the mirror and said, I don't even know who that is anymore. You have been so busy surviving that you forgot who you are. You forgot how to dream. You forgot how to do anything more than survive. If that is you, I'm just Janae, and this is Dreams Don't Expire. All that you want is still out there waiting for you. Dare to dream again with me.
All right, so today we're going to talk about your dreams, your goals, and maybe hit a little bit on self-sabotage. Now, I'm going to be reading part of the time from a paper because I'm old school. I've tried doing the teleprompter, and I'll be honest, it just makes me feel like I'm a robot. So it just gets too much in my head, so I just can't do it. So first off, what is your goal, your dream? Like that one that if you took away all your self-doubt, all your fear, like what is that wild thing you would go after? What is that? Now, here's the thing. I really want you to think right here, because don't just go with the answer you've always given. Sometimes our dreams change, and that's okay. I would much rather you figure out that the dream you had isn't what you want anymore than go after it and get there and be unfulfilled. My dream 10 years ago isn't what it is today. And when I had to sit and really decide if I still wanted that dream, that was so hard to come up with the answer of being no. And then I had this guilt of feeling like I let people down. And like there's so much behind it. But the biggest person I would have let down if I kept going after that goal when my heart wasn't still in it would have been me. So, and we all know there's a lot of people who go to college to become something and then find out they really don't want to be that, right? So there is no reason you can't change, and don't feel guilty, don't have any feelings about changing. Just know that you've got to be true to yourself. So what is that wild, wild dream? Okay, I really want you to think about it. And why? Why is that dream or goal? Why is that the one you're going after? Because you need to do a little deep dive into what you really want. And so the why is going to help you make sure that this is really what you're after. Okay? Now, I want you to ask yourself some questions, and these are going to be some hard questions. And you don't have to have the answer today, but I want you to think about it. So go get pen and pencil. Make sure that you have the ability to write down these questions so that you can answer them later. Like, I want you to put thought in it. I don't want that off the cuff answer that feels like it should be right. So what is your dream and why? Now, if I make this goal and I achieve it, how am I going to feel? Like in 5 years from now, how will I feel having achieved this goal? Or even 6 months from now, right? What is my feeling going to be? That again is going to help you know if you've got the right goal. So we're doing this because I know I just asked you to go get a pen and pencil. What's your goal, your dream? Why? And how will you feel if you achieve it? Think about it. Project yourself in that future. What's your life going to look like and how you're going to feel about it? Okay? Now, here's the other thing. Who else will be affected by this and how will they feel? Now, that sounds kind of silly, right? But here's the thing. Me getting my dream is affecting my entire family, right? One, it's affected him because I kind of just quit my job. So now we're going to have to figure things out differently financially, right? But here's another way it's going to affect my family. My sons are seeing me go after my dream at 60. they are being taught that it's never too late. They are being shown a different kind of courage. I am showing them it's okay to believe in yourself and go after your dreams. Now, if they can learn that in their 30s instead of their 60s like me, how much more ahead of the game? And if they can learn that, they're passing that down to their kids. So my family is temporarily affected by having to change how life is, right? But further down the road, my family is going to be affected in how they perceive what they're capable of doing. And to me, that's huge. You know, Ed Milet talks about how there is one person who changes the trajectory of that family. You know, he was the first one in his family to like make millions of dollars or whatever. I want to be that one for my family. Yes, I'm late in doing it, but not so late that it never happened, right? So it's never too late. Okay, so who else will be affected and how will they feel? I can tell you right now, my husband's pretty damn proud of me. So are my boys. They're a little skeptical still, but really proud of me. So yeah, it does affect more than you. So now, on a scale of 1 to 10, can you achieve this goal? How do you really feel? Can you achieve this goal? If it is less than 8, then we've got some work to do, right? If you are doubting yourself, number one, that is so natural. When you first have this big, huge goal, it's something that you haven't believed you're capable of before. It's way out of your comfort zone, or you'd already have it, right? So you believing that you can actually hit it might not be that big right now. So we may have to do some work so that your belief gets up to your goal. And then what is it going to take to achieve this goal? What's it going to take from you? Number one, I can guarantee it's going to take you getting uncomfortable, right? Again, everything we want is outside of our comfort zone. So you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to do something new. If not, again, that goal would already been achieved. What else is it going to take? Is it going to take a certain amount of time away from your family? Is it going to take some finances? What is it going to take? You're going to have to figure out what it's going to take and what you're willing to give up. And some of the things you might be having to give up are going to surprise you. What must you learn to achieve your goal? Guys, if you already had that knowledge, you'd already have that goal. So there has to be something you have to learn. One, I had to learn a lot to do my book and to do this podcast. I had to get out of my comfort zone a ton. And I'm still getting out of my comfort zone every day. Thing of it is I'm starting to love getting out of my comfort zone. It's been something I've been working on for years now. And so now I get this thrill off of having achieved something I didn't think I could. You'll get there. What skills do I need to master? Okay. I have a lot of technology still to master, as you can see, right? So, but I didn't have to master it to start, right? So that's the thing is don't feel like you have to be perfect before you start. Okay. And what time must I invest? You have to be willing to give up that time. And, you know, there might be some hard non-negotiables. I'm not willing to give up this. Okay, that's fine. And before you say, oh, I'm too busy, whatnot, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, now here is a big one that I think most people don't think about. What is the upside to achieving that goal? And what is the downside? Most people don't look at the downside. Well, the downside might be that you lose friends because when you get successful, not everybody is going to appreciate that. there are going to be some family members, some friends who are uncomfortable because you are no longer the person you were, right? And sometimes that comes out in you losing people in your life because don't like your growth. It makes them uncomfortable, and so they start thinking, oh yeah, look at this person, they think I'm better, whatever. So that is one of the things that might be a downside is you might lose some people. You might outgrow them, right? Your circle might become smaller. I have a very small circle of, I don't want to say friends because I have a lot of friends, but I have a really small circle of confidants, of people that I let influence my life. They have to have a higher mindset. They have to have a positive attitude. So that is going to maybe be a downside at first, and then it's going to become a huge upside because these people are going to be the people that have your back absolutely no matter what. Here was one of my downsides when I was looking at getting a goal and what it could look like. One of my downsides was if I was successful. What? Fear of success? Yeah, it's a real thing. Because if I was successful, it would mean I would quit my job. And if I quit my job, where was my confidence going to come from? Because my confidence at one point was all the people I worked with and, knowing that they appreciated me and everything. And what if I got home and it's just me and my husband and I don't get the same kind of appreciation or that same kind of positive feedback? Am I still worthy? Am I still enough, right? So the fear of being successful, because I knew once I was successful, I would quit my job and I'd be home with my husband a lot. And I didn't know if I could like that future. I love it now, but I had to get myself to that place. So, there is the positives and count them out. But when you start putting the downsides to that, I want you to, as you write those downside to achieving your goal, I want you to look at how you can make that into a positive. Okay, what have you got to do to change those downside into a positive? Because it always is. All right, so now, what is my sabotage of choice? Because we're going to sabotage ourselves, okay? Let me tell you what I learned. Self-sabotage does not look like I thought it did. Okay, one of them is I'm going to be too busy. Well, when it's something you really want, you find the time, right? If I have an opportunity to go on a cruise, and I wanted to go on a cruise my entire life, but I'm really busy, I'm going to make time. I'm going to get on that cruise. We have to maybe rearrange our schedule a little bit, maybe give up a few things to find the time. We have it, even if it means I wake up a half hour earlier, right? Or maybe I work on it after I put my kids to bed. We have the time, we just might have to rearrange. But that is a huge way of self-sabotage. Procrastination. Did you know that you self-sabotaging? It is 100%. Another thing, social media. It is such a huge, not only time drain, it is a mindset drain 90% of the time. Now, for me, not so much, because pretty much anybody who is on any of my social media stuff is putting out positive things, right? But it's still wasting my time a lot. And, I have to be very careful about the content I look at. For me, another self-sabotage is reading. I love to read. And so what I find is when I'm really struggling on where to go next, I start like binge reading. And it's okay because I'm reading, but it isn't, because it is what's stopping me from putting in the time I need to. TV, another self-sabotage. There is a bunch of them. But start thinking about what is the thing that you are using to fill that time instead of the thing you need to do to get your goal. That is your self-sabotage. And so here's the thing. Do I need to give up reading altogether? I don't, because part of what I read is, self-help, self-growth. So it's beneficial. But also, I just need to limit my time. Say, this is how much time I have per day, per week, whatever, and keep track of it and say, okay, that's it. Break it off at that point. Then what benefit do I get out of self-sabotage? Think about that. You get a benefit out of self-sabotage. Well, it means I don't have to step into my fear, right? It means that, you know what? I just had all these things happen and I couldn't actually get to my goals. So, you know what? Not my fault. Sound familiar? Oh, you know what? If nobody knows about my goal and I don't ever do any of this and I keep self-sabotaging, it's fine because now nobody's going to judge me. Are you a people pleaser? Are you worried about what other people think? Because that's a big one. Most of us are. It is going to give us the opportunity to not have to decide if we're enough, to step into that self-doubt, to care about what people think. That's what self-sabotage does. It gives us that opportunity. It also gives us the opportunity to never get our dreams. Now, is it worth it? It's not. I had stayed in self-sabotage for a lot of years. I lived in I am not enough. I lived in self-doubt. I cared so much what others thought. And it put my dream back a lot of years. Didn't get rid of it because I've always felt like I was meant for more, like I had bigger potential. But it put me back a lot of years. I don't want you living in regret. I've said this in so many podcasts, but I mean it. I don't want you to get to the end of your life and say, I could have. That would be the worst. All those things you could have done. All those things that you could have been. All those dreams gone. I'm going to get back. I'm going to get to the end of my life and I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, look at all these memories I made. Because I've made a lot. That's a big deal for me. I'm going to say, look at all these dreams I made happen. And you know what? I came so much further than I originally thought I could. Because I never gave up. I kept working on me. Because in order to reach all of this, I have to learn to love myself. I had to learn to get self-confident. I had to see my self-worth. Because yeah, I am worthy of this. I had to not put as much stock in what others thought of me. Because at the end of the day, they don't have to look in the mirror and justify their actions. I do. I look in the mirror and I see my actions, not everybody else's, right? I got to be able to love that person I see in the mirror. So, this is a good start, guys. Start thinking about what are you willing to give up. Are you willing to give up a half hour a day? Are you willing to maybe give up a half hour sleep, right? Or not play that game on your phone? Or not look at social media as much? You don't have to give everything up. You have to cut it back, right? So that you got that time to do the important things. Are you willing and ready to show your family what success looks like. I think you are, and I think you deserve it. So really start thinking really hard about what it is you want and how you're going to get there. And, you know, if you have any thoughts or questions, put them down. Let's answer them. I believe you are made for your dream. Now let's get rid of the excuses. Let's be very intentional in how we go about getting them, because you deserve it.
Hey, thank you for having watched that episode of Dreams Don't Expire. I'm just Janae, reminding you, this is your time to rise. Your time to believe in who you are, to become who you are meant to be. So get up, go after those dreams, because guess what? You deserve them.